St. Joseph High School boys basketball. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
What's going on with the Wildcats, man? 6 in a row. You're off to 9-1 start.
Kind of crazy, actually. I mean, we lost a couple of our top players, and we were expecting kind of regress a little bit, and we kind of had a next man up approach, and the kids are just happy to play, and we're just trying to make some noise.
Now, how much does the last name Rodio? How much clout does that give you in the locker room and the practice court?
It helped. It helped early on. I mean, it helps. I mean, the kids just want to get better, and I think being a young coach with that last name definitely helps. I mean, my dad pops into practice 3 days a week too, so that helps too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that like, Paul, growing up with a basketball coach as a dad who's so familiar to everybody around here? He's had a legendary career. I mean, the guy's name is on the court and he's still coaching, for gosh sakes.
yeah, he's still going, and he doesn't look like he's going to stop anytime. But yeah, the good thing is, instead of hanging out with a lot of my friends when I was little, I'm not going to lie, I was always at my dad's practices, and I think that's how I got the knowledge of the game so early, because I'm always was around his team, and I fell in love with the game just watching them play at a young age. So I've always had this in my blood. So that's why that's why we live by it, and literally that's my life right now is basketball.
Now, what's the biggest difference between yourself and your dad in terms of coaching philosophy? Obviously, you're your own man, and I'm sure you have different theories from him about how to play basketball. Do you find yourself differing from him a lot, or kind of taking a lot of the same things that have made him so successful?
We're kind of the same. I mean, it's the little minor things, personnel differences possibly, but really it's the same philosophy. And it's kind of funny when we play the prep, we're almost running the same plays, just different names. So that's how. I figured, leader in wins in South Jersey, why try and change too much? So that's what we're trying to have the blueprint.
Yeah, that's a pretty good philosophy. The guy's got, 700 some wins?
Yeah, right.
What was he, over 800? I don't even know what the number is now.
I think he's going for 9 pretty soon. I mean, he's got to be only 30, 40 away.
Wow. So let's talk about your team a little bit. You guys are kind of really popping on the radar here in terms of the Cape Atlantic League. I know the tournament's coming up in a couple weeks, and you guys have kind of vaulted into that number one spot in the United Conference. It may not just be Atlantic City and Prep this year. Where Millville's hot, Ocean City's kind of coming along, mainland. So there's going to be a lot of competition in this Cal tournament.
Yeah, that's why I'm really on my team every day. You would have thought the way we practiced the last couple of days, me yelling and screaming that we were 0-12, but I see it wide open. So I want the kids to understand. A lot of times you're not going to have this opportunity. So we're just really trying to work hard, and we're trying to be an uncommon team to make this make it to Stockton.
We're talking with Coach Paul Rodio Jr. from St. Joseph High School. Coach, how tough is it in these first maybe 2 to 3 weeks of January? You're kind of in a little bit of that lull of the season. You're getting into the conference schedule, but it's long days, it's late nights at the court, that kind of thing. And sometimes high school kids can get a little distracted in the middle of the season. What are you trying to do to keep these guys focused here as you start getting close to February?
I always think you gotta have a fresh approach, just because I was in high school only about 10 years ago, so I remembered what kind of got me going or what kind of got me disinterested. So I try just changing it up. I don't like doing the same thing at practice. Sometimes you play competitive games in practice to just get the kids doing something different, not just all drills, constant scouting. But I try to limit practices too. You don't want to go 3 hours a day also when the kids also have homework and you have 3 games that week. So really just trying to switch it up and kind of keep them guessing so they're on their heels. Like we switched our warm-up yesterday just because I didn't like the way we warmed up the other day. And I know just that's the kind of stuff I'm just changing up. I don't want them to get any, I don't want to get the too vanilla, you know what I mean? Try to change it up.
Yeah, you don't really think about that too much in high school sports, but sometimes you got to just get a little crazy and change it up sometimes. I know my brother used to coach high school baseball, and one of the things he did one time was he noticed that in the pregame warm-ups, guys were, making errors on ground balls, that kind of thing. So one day he had an idea. It's like, hey, I'm just going to run a warm-up with no baseball. And guys were making great plays without a ball, and it gave him kind of a little bit of a confidence going into the game. So sometimes you got to think of some different things, right?
Yeah, you have to, especially, let's just say, I don't know, the average kid nowadays, the attention span is kind of small, so you kind of have to change it up and try to grab their attention as much as you can.
So, Coach, can you take any of these guys on your team one-on-one?
We kind of mess around sometimes. We actually played knockout the other day just to change it up again, and I came in second, and they think I can't move. I'm a little overweight now, so they think I can't move, but I told them anytime I'm ready to go with them, I definitely push them around.
What's your range now in the horse? How far out can you go and still make a three?
I still shoot. I can shoot it. I can shoot from half court and not even jump. And they just stare at me, and I can make it consistently. But I can't play any defense. Never could.
Talking with Coach Paul Rodio Jr. from St. Joseph High School. Coach, how cool is this now? You're in a spot where you're 9-1. The guys are starting to buy in. They're starting to believe, and that's got to be energizing to you as a coach to say, hey, maybe we could do something big this season that we didn't think of. We were capable of in the beginning of the season. So it's got to energize you a little bit as you get into late January here.
What energizes us as a program is, I only took over less than 3 years ago, and credit to Coach Gallagher. I had good seniors my first year, and it's almost like we didn't have to go and rebuild because they were ready to go. They just needed an extra push. I was ready to go, and going towards this year, losing a couple players, and we got to look that we're not even talked about or considered in the top 25, and we had a pretty decent year last year, so we thought we'd at least be considered. So then, we kind of got the kids motivated, and we're jumping from 25th to 8th to 23rd to 18th to now 16th. So we just want to keep climbing the ladder and kind of keep, keeping the foot, guys on the pedal.
Coach, before we let you go, we're up against the break here, but you got a tough game today against Winslow. Coach Wayne Nelson over there, he's a heck of a basketball coach. You got your work cut out for you this afternoon.
We got a really tough one, especially because we had a game late last night, and especially I found out my ex-best player, Jordan Herron, is now playing for them. So it's going to be an interesting game, and I coached with Wayne. So they're both going to know my playbook inside and out. So we're going to have our work cut out today.
Coach, got to let you go, but great job so far, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Coach. Have a good weekend.
Okay, you too.
That was Paul Rodio Jr. from St. Joseph, off to a 9-1 start.